The film opens in a large field, where two cars drive up to a man digging a large hole. Two men pull a man with a bag over his head out of the car and push him to the ground next to the hole. It is revealed that the one who is responsible for this private meeting is a self-made Jakarta gang lord called Beho. Having taken off the bag over his head, the hostage is revealed to be Andy, who looks apparently bruised and beaten. Beho lectures him about his ambitiousness, and Andy begs for mercy. Just then, Beho speaks of Tama. He tells Andy that despite his demise, Tama had already knew which amount of level he would reach, which was why Bangun allowed him to let Tama be who he was. This was when Andy was given hope, months ago, but when it came to choose between Bangun and Beho, Andy chose Bangun, having finished his sentence, and announcing that the full circle ambition and limitation begins once more. Beho shoots Andy in the head and his henchmen drag his body into the grave. Immediately after the events of the raid, Rama, Bo, and Lieutenant Wahyu are sitting in an undisclosed location with Bunawar and two of his men. Bunawar, a police officer, is determined to bring both the corrupt police and the criminals to justice by any means. He tells one of them to take Bo to the hospital. After he leaves, Bunawar orders the other to kill Wahyu. Despite Rama's attempts to stop, Bunawar's men shoots Wahyu 4 times, killing him. Rama becomes angry, but Bunawar tells him that he was a dead man anyway. Rama begins to argue with Bunawar by saying that he had evidence to testify against Wahyu, and that he could have brought him to life in prison, but Bunawar declines his words, and simply tells him that his evidence is not enough, and that Bunawar and his corrupt unit are just a small division, despite the fact that he also had the case to bring Tama's evidence, that will give Wahyu more than just life in prison. He then tells Rama that his life and his family are in danger, after what transpired in Tama's apartment building. He asks Rama to be part of his undercover team, in order to take out all the corruption in the police force, along with Bangun, Godo, and Reza, the top criminal heads. Rama refuses, explaining to Bunawar that while their goals are the same, their methods are not. In the aftermath of the apartment raid, Bunawar presents his superiors with all the files of the participant cops, except Rama's. He claims there were no survivors. The camera then shows 2 men watching from behind the mirror. The man in the gray suit asks about the previous events, while the man in the black suit is revealed to be Reza, a corrupt police commissioner who was mentioned in the previous film to have paid Tama off in order to kill Wahyu after betraying him, as well as eliminating all who were part of his unit too. Reza responds that he'll keep looking and take care of the situation personally, though presumably for any loose ends that may threaten to expose them. Later, we see Rama and his father mourning the death of Andy. This convinces Rama to take the job from Bunawar. His family is relocated somewhere safer, as Bunawar has promised to Rama. During the meeting, Bunawar tells Rama that the man who killed his brother was Beho, who is revealed to be an upcoming and ambitious gangster, though Rama already knows the name. He is then told that his brother had big enemies, and if Rama doesn't accept the offer now, Reza and his men will come looking for Rama, and have himself and his family killed. Rama is instructed to keep his focus between Bangun and Godo. He is told that Tama had answered to Bangun, in order to achieve his goals until his apparent downfall. His first order from Bunawar is to get close to Uko, Bangun's son, who is in prison, so that once Rama gets close to Bangun, this will allow Bunawar and his division to wipe out Reza and his crooks, having learned that Bunawar wants evidences, with all the names that put Reza's hands in Bangun's pockets. Bunawar tells Rama to beat up the son of a politician, who is Uko's enemy, in order to gain his trust and would lead to his arrest. Rama disagrees, saying that he needs a better reason to do this. Bunawar tells Rama that the politician is a major key player of Beho. This gains Rama's attention, who does the job off screen, and as a result, Rama is arrested. Rama is in prison, sitting in a toilet stall, when he is suddenly attacked by Uko's men, led by Benny. He fights them all before being overpowered. He later sits in his cell, bruised and beaten up, punching the wall several times as practice. At lunch, Uko goes up to Rama, who calls himself Yuda, and tries to convince him to join his side, since he defeated 15 of his men. Rama declines his offer. During visiting hours, Uko meets with one of his father's underlings, Ika, who wants him to have extra protection since his life is in constant danger. He tells Ika that he is curious about Rama. Meanwhile, Rama meets with one of Bunawar's men, who tells him that he has to stay in prison for 2 years, not months like he was promised, due to the politician's anger. In the prison courtyard, the prisoners sit away from the rain. Rama starts to notice some of the prisoners on the other side signaling to each other, and passing around a shank. Soon, Benny and the other 2 approach Uko, who is sitting a few seats away. Before they could strike, Rama uses a broom handle to fend them off and saves Uko's life. This initiates a riot in the courtyard. Then the prisoners and guards fight in the mud. Some prisoners are shot dead as they try to climb the prison fence. Uko is attacked several times, and when he is almost unconscious on the ground, Benny goes over to finish him off. However, Rama steps in and once again saves Uko and nearly kills Benny. However, he is later knocked out by a guard, but not before catching Uko's attention. 2 years later, Rama is released from prison. He notices a wire on his jacket and immediately tears it out. Outside, he is met by Uko, who had him released a year early. He takes him to his father, who wants to thank Rama personally. In Bangun's place, Bangun and Goto are meeting to discuss the uprising of Beho. During the meeting, Goto worries about Beho's ambitions, and wants to meet Bangun so that one of them will take care of Beho's situation. Bangun tells Goto that he'll monitor the situation and he'll take Beho out, if he makes another move against them. After Goto and his son, Keiichi, leaves, Uko brings Rama before his father. He tells Rama to strip all of his clothes off, to make sure he's not wired. Bangun orders Ika to check Rama's clothes to double sure that he is not a cop. Ika doesn't find anything and Bangun accepts him. He is given new clothes along with a penthouse to stay in. As he puts on his new clothes, Bangun assures Rama that he will always appreciate for what he had done for his son, and he'll truly never forget that, but Bangun warns him that he will now play by his rules, and that he himself brought Rama into his family, to look after him and treat him like he truly is his family. Bangun then simply says to Rama, if you fuck up, you're out. Rama vows to keep Bangun's word and promises, before assuring Bangun that he will not let him down. Ika then shows Rama his own penthouse, and leaves him be, but not after Ika gives Rama a cryptic message, stating that they came from the same world. After he's alone, Rama blasts music really loudly and calls Bunawar using a SIM card he'd hidden in his mouth. He argues with his boss that he almost got him killed for having that wire on him, and that he will do things his way from then on. After that conversation, Rama calls his wife. He asks her if he can listen to his son for a while. The next day, Uko, Ika, Rama, and 2 other henchmen go to an underground porn industry, where they demand payment from them. The leader, Topan, refuses to pay the extra 5,000 after he is caught importing drugs. One of his men reaches under the table for a concealed shotgun. Rama notices and immediately stops him. A gunfight ensues, leaving all of Topan's men killed along with 2 of Uko's men. Topan escapes and Rama chases him. He then catches him in a room where he mercilessly beats Topan but stops himself from dealing a killing blow. Ika compliments Rama's skill to Bangun. Uko then asks his father when he can move on to bigger things than simply collecting debts, or presumably taking over his organization if he dies. His father says he isn't ready to move on yet, which angers Uko. Later, at a club, Uko begins to abuse 2 of the working girls, while getting drunk. Enraged after getting into an argument, Uko kicks one of them unconscious while abusing the other for insulating him and refusing to sing. Before singing with her though, Uko expresses his jealousy over his father's business and sulks for not accepting what's his. When the manager steps in, Rama tells the girls to leave. When the 2 men are alone, Rama tries to reassure Uko that his father will come around. Uko's phone rings and he steps outside to speak to the mystery caller. Rama takes the opportunity to place a wire in Uko's wallet. Meanwhile, Bangun meets with Prakoso, one of his most trusted hitmen who is also homeless. He gives him an envelope containing a new target. Prakoso is later seen sitting by a curb with his machete by his side, waiting for his target to appear. When he sees him and his guards, he quickly fends them all off and gives chase to his target. When they are both at a dead end, Prakoso kills his target with his machete. Rama meets Bangun the next day, where he warns him on the matter of trust and ambitions. It is revealed that he killed Topan, before Ika and his men dumped his body in a lake. Bangun recognizes that Rama is best positioned to keep an eye on his son, and asks to be kept informed if anything important comes up involving Uko. Later on at night, the person who called Uko is revealed to be Beho, who wants to cause a war between Bangun and Goto, claiming both territories in the aftermath. During dinner, Beho seems to be a practical man, and appears unconcerned with history and tradition. As a gesture of goodwill and a show of commitment, he brings 5 former prisoners, including Benny, who attacked Uko, and lets him execute them all. As Uko goes to slit each of their throats, they discuss how they will be able to cause a rift between the 2 families. In reality, Beho sees Bangun as a weak businessman whilst Goto drowns Reza and his crooks with whiskey and woman. Before killing Benny, Uko notices a distinct tattoo on Benny's wrist, who then looks at an unfazed Beho. Before finally accepting his fate, Uko then kills Benny after ignoring his suspicions over the tattoo. Having finished watching Uko killing Benny and his last friends, Beho says that they will need to kill a trusted man in Bangun's family, and not just a foot soldier. When Uko begins to question this, Beho says that he already has someone in his mind. Outside, Rama listens in on their entire conversation, and then watches both Uko and Beho shaking hands before leaving on separate diversions. Rama becomes shocked to learn of Uko's new alliance, and shows his anger as he sees the man who killed his brother. At a restaurant, we see Prakoso meeting his ex-wife, who berates him for being an assassin. He asks if he can see his son, in which his ex-wife refuses. He later gets a message from Uko and leaves early. They meet up at a dance club, where Prakoso tells Uko to be patient with his father, and that he has the same fiery ambition within him. Uko goes to the bathroom. Prakoso takes out a locket with a picture of his son in it and stares at it for a while. He soon realizes the entire club becomes empty. The doors swing open and numerous men come in. Prakoso starts to fight these men. The fight leads to the alleyway, where Prakoso gets sliced numerous times but not while killing all of Beiho's henchmen. As Uko runs outside to witness the aftermath of the fight, both he and Prakoso notices Beiho's assassin on the other side of the street, leaning against his car. Just then, Prakoso discovers that Uko betrayed him by allowing Beiho to have him killed, before realizing that he is finished. Taking out the locket, Prakoso faces the assassin, who leans in to look into his victim's eyes, before quickly finishing him off with his 2 knives, killing Prakoso, while Uko is watching. At Bangun's headquarters, Uko pretends that Prakoso was killed by the Japanese, Goto's men. He demands retribution from his father, but Bangun shoots it down, stating that he does not want to ruin the peace between the families. Rama comes in, and is told to go calm Uko down. He tries, but fails. Uko calls Beiho and tells him to continue with the plan, regardless of Bangun's approval. Beiho then orders the assassin that killed Prakoso to hunt down specific targets from Goto's family. The assassin is then seen beating up his target in the fields. The target tries to escape, only to be captured by Beiho's henchmen. It is shown that the assassin's target was confronted at the same fields where Beiho killed Andy in the beginning of the film. Beiho then watches as the assassin executes his target, who begged for mercy. Meanwhile, Hammer Girl's target is shown in the train with 10 of Goto's gangsters. Hammer Girl easily dispatches Goto's henchmen before killing her target in cold blood. Elsewhere, the guy with the baseball bat uses his weapon to slaughter all of Goto's goons before confronting his target, who is having a meeting with somebody, presumably for Goto's organizations or plots for Goto's next step. The guy with the baseball bat then uses his bat and balls to kill Goto's organizers and wounds his target, who tried to escape but now has a broken back. The guy with the baseball bat then tells his target to give him the ball, but he instead tosses it away. The guy with the baseball bat responds that what he just did was a mistake and, despite Goto's member begging for mercy, ends up killing his target by smacking his head with the baseball bat repeatedly, before the screen turns black. The scene then turns to Rama, who enters a taxi, and prepares to head back to Bangun's headquarters. All seems quiet, when suddenly, he is attacked by a group of attackers, who end up killing the taxi driver in the process. Rama escapes momentarily and runs into a restaurant. He defeats multiple attackers. Then he stops the last one by pressing his face into on a hot grill, and then notices the man is wearing police identification, meaning that the men who tried to kill him were Reza's crooks. At a meeting between Bangun and Goto, the two are ordered to repair their truce, or forcibly disband their families. Bangun agrees and takes full responsibility for everything his son has done, much to Uko's anger. Returning to his penthouse, Rama treats his wounds and angrily calls his boss Bunawar. He tells him that he was attacked by the police and demands to be pulled out. Bunawar refuses. Instead, he reveals that the cause was, actually corruption. Shocked to learn, Rama is told that he was never investigating Bangun, and now Reza and his men are getting support from the Goto family, although Bunawar tells him that his identity is safe. Rama then angrily hangs up and sighs in frustration. After that, Bunawar is suddenly making his mission a lot more difficult and harder, now that being told that he was never investigating Bangun, and the only target who Bunawar wanted to focus on was Reza all this time. Just then, Rama receives a call from Bangun's assistant, Ika, who tells him to come to Bangun's immediately. Bangun beats Uko for provoking the Japanese. Uko expresses his outrage at not being promoted in his father's organization. Bangun finds out that his son is directly involved with the growing feud between him and Goto. After the latter attempts to make things right, Bangun punches Uko until Ika stops him. Bangun then orders Ika to prepare for a meeting, where he will sell his land to Goto and his family. Just then, Beiho and his men, including the assassin, arrive to confront Bangun. A tearful Uko tells his father to forgive him. Bangun learns too late that Uko has betrayed him, just as he discovers he did the same to Prakoso, and that he was with Beiho to get rid of Goto and his syndicate the entire time. Uko then shoots his father at blank rage, killing Bangun. Ika then calls Uko a traitor and attempts to stop this, but Uko shoots him in the leg. As Ika asks Uko about his betrayal, Beiho takes the gun from Uko and tries to kill Ika. When Rama arrives, having found out Bangun's death, Uko's betrayal, Beiho's arrival, and Ika's injury, Rama fights past Beiho's henchman and disarms him, but his chance to kill him is blocked. When the assassins attack, Rama tells Ika to run. Ika then flees before the fight begins. The assassin defeats Rama easily. Beiho asks Uko what does he want to do about Rama. A wounded and guilty Uko makes no response and Beiho has Rama taken away, ordering to have him killed later on. Ika watches as Rama is dragged into a car. A convoy of Beiho's men then drive him away. On the way, Ika pursues the convoy and calls Rama. He collides with the car Rama is in, inciting a car chase. Rama fights the men holding him captive, while Ika takes out the accompanying vehicles. Rama disables his captors, with great difficulty and escapes, jumping into Ika's car. The two make it out of the chase alive while all of Beho's henchmen are left dead. In Goto's office, Goto, having heard of Bangun's death and Reza's betrayal, is angry at Beho's involvement, and demands Beho's death. Goto is complaining about Reza when Ryuichi, Goto's translator, reveals that Bangun was killed by Uko, who allied himself with Beho, and that Reza is off to a meeting with them. Concerned with this new alliance and making his decision, Goto decides to start over and declares war on Beho and Reza, demanding that every one of Beho, Uko, Reza and the syndicate all dead that night. Keiichi is shocked about this, but Goto warns his son that Reza and his crooks are no longer cops, and that they're in his world now. At a ruined site, Ika pulls over and reveals to Rama that he knows he is an undercover cop, and that he was one too. Bleeding to death, Ika tells Rama that only by taking out everyone at once can the conflict be ended. He leaves the car and dies peacefully while Rama drives away. He calls Bunawar and argues about Ika, wondering why his presence was kept a secret. Bunawar reveals that Ika fed him bad intel, which led to 10 cops dying, and is disgraced. After being told that the commissioner is dead, and also furious over Bunawar's complaints that Ika had betrayed the police, Rama learns that Reza, his true target, is being picked up in Uko's wire and that Bunawar is on his way. It is revealed that Reza wants to talk to Beho and Uko, to start a new business organization, and in order to disband Goto and his syndicate. Just then, Rama asks his boss if his family is safe, and will remain that way, in which Bunawar assures they are, and will be. Rama then hangs up on him. Rama then arrives at Beho's restaurant, where he drives through one of the garages, and alerts his men. While he fights them, Uko is in the bathroom upstairs, bruised and beaten. As he is about to tip the towel boy, he notices the wire. He goes back to Reza and Beho sitting at the table, and remains silent throughout. One of the henchmen warns Beho that Rama escaped custody, and is now in the building. He orders everyone to kill him, sending the assassins, the guy with the baseball bat, and Hammer Girl. When Beho accidentally drops his cane, Uko looks down, and notices the same tattoo that was on one of the former prisoners he executed. Uko learns that Beho was the one who tried to have him killed in prison, and that now the alliance is no longer useful. Beho will try to have him killed again, to spark the war and take Goto's land and territory all to himself. After finishing everyone off in the warehouse, Rama moves up to face the guy with the baseball bat and Hammer Girl. During the fight, Baseball Guy is overpowered before Rama slits Hammer Girl's throat and, despite Baseball Guy's shock response, as he shout of no, Rama kills her. Baseball Guy then viciously tries to avenge his fallen sister, only to be defeated by Rama, who then kills him by slamming his face with his baseball bat. He enters the kitchen and faces the assassins. They engage in a lengthy and very brutal fight, and Rama, unlike his prior fight with the assassins, keeps the upper hand. Near defeat, the assassin pulls out 2 curved knives he kept in sheaths behind his back. He wounds Rama, but Rama eventually disarms and takes one of the knives, where the two begin to slash each other. All looks tight until the assassin starts to get the advantage, but Rama finally keeps his ground and begins slashing the assassin repeatedly. Blooded and wounded, near the end of the fight, Rama finishes the assassin off by cutting the assassin repeatedly until he slices his throat, killing him. Bloodied and wounded, Rama enters the dining room, interrupting Beho, Uko, and Reza. Using the knife he obtained from the assassin, he kills 2 guard and fights the 3rd guard. In that moment, Beho retrieves a shotgun and runs from the bar. He throws it to Reza, but Uko grabs it instead, shooting and killing Reza. Beho grabs a second shotgun, kills his own henchman by accident, and shoots at Rama several times, but Rama is only slightly wounded, and then he takes cover. Uko shoots Beho, first in the leg, and then the shoulder. Uko stands over Beho and drops the wire on him, before pointing the shotgun in his face and firing. This ends up exploding his head, killing Beho. He turns to kill Rama behind a couch. He shoots relentlessly, but as he approaches the couch, Rama seizes the moment before Uko can pump the shotgun, again to jump up and throw the knife, wounding Uko. Uko and Rama cling to each other, both wounded, until Rama finishes Uko by stabbing him. Uko dies and Rama stumbles out of the dining room. Bunawar races to Beho's restaurant, but before he can get there, Rama re-enters the warehouse. Keiichi and his men are waiting for him at the entrance. They talk, words unheard, though all is assumed when Keiichi offers Rama a chance to join the Japanese. The discussion, as well as the entire storyline, ends with Rama simply saying, "No, I'm done. If you are still with me, thank you very much." Although this movie is the sequel, I urge you to watch both movies. For more movies recommendations, please subscribe to the channel and like the video.